there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Alright, well, we're a dead guy, and we're trying to figure out what the heck happened to us, who we are, and what's all this other mystery stuff going on. So with that, let's see what happens next. Chapter 12. It looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Jowd's daughter, Camilla, not the minister's daughter. When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. The devastated man was being grilled by the fiery detective lady. Hold it. I told Lynn about what I had found, all about the kidnapping and everything. That it wasn't even the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted. That the kidnappers had holed up in Camilla's old house, and that they sensed my presence and were already gone. But Camilla? What do they have Camilla? Her father isn't the stupid old Justice Minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. It looks like the kidnappers made a mistake somehow. The poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution? It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists too. Like the kidnappers winding up and using Camilla's old house as their hideout. There's no way it could just be coincidence. And then there was the fact that they sensed my presence. So eerie. They seem to know about the powers of the dead, or at least a spirit medium. I just don't understand any of it. This makes me want to play Murder by Numbers and see how much Ace Attorneyness that game has in it. The OC is done by the series composer. I have not heard of Murder by Numbers. I'm not familiar with that. That other Capcom game, or did they just work on it for another company? I told you before, Detective. I want you to stay back. No! Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. How can I believe in you? I'm a realist. If you don't believe what we say, then see for yourself. Just call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She kind of hates me. Wait, she won't? It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? What a foolish man. But if she doesn't answer, then doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it. Oh, no. And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make that it's not my daughter? Fair point. It's a Switch game that utilizes P-Cross-like puzzles mixed with CSI. Oh, okay. That would explain the Murder by Numbers part of it with P-Cross. Okay, who the fuck is this? Is this gonna be Cabanella? Woo-wee, that's quite a pickle. Yep, Cabanella, okay. Oh, uh-oh. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanella. The most animated man in the game. I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. Jesus. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. Thought you might like to see him, so here he is. That's your cue, Jowd. Detective Jowd? I'm so sorry, I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry. Lynn, please don't apologize to me. Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student. It brings a tear to my eye. time to go see what the fuck's going on with Jowd. Or we got text bubbles first. Oh, I should have trouble checked my own first. You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanela, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Jowd could never have done such a thing. Oh, come on now, baby. I know there's no such thing about that. What? I know 2 things be true and 2 things only. 1, he was given the death penalty. And 2, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? Now, if that's the case, why did you bring him here? My girl, this piece what all detectives strive for. Jowd's got... Oh, wait, that was supposed to be Jowd's voice you were saying. Jowd's got some King Harkinian... Harkinian? I never played the CDI games, for good reason. That guy's energy. I don't really know, like... There's so much with these characters. Whatever do you mean, young lady? He escaped from prison, right? So why don't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons? So, were all those rumors about you true? The only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important to you than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn. But Detective Jowd, I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. But... Also, Cabanela has the Damon Gant hair, and it's been throwing me off the whole time. I guess we'll talk to him. My poor Amelie. Is she alright? Actually, the girl who was kidnapped is named Camilla. Why is a dream talking to me in my head again? Wait a minute. Amelie? Wait, could that be the Amelie next door? Yeah, I think so. Wow. I know the Justice Minister lived next door. No, not me. My wife. It's, complicated? Yeah, I bet it would be pretty hard to admit that she left him. The Minister's wife ran away on him? Ha! Oh, maybe they grew apart, what with him being so busy. Or maybe it's her trashy romance novels. But yeah, I bet you're right, it's something like that. Please stop gossiping about me inside my own head. Honestly, that's pretty fucking fair. That seems rude as fuck. That said, I don't want to... Okay, let's go and talk to you. According to what I heard, Amelie was supposed to be going to some sort of lesson tonight. Well, those horrible kidnappers, they were lying in wait for her. But Amelie didn't go out after all. She couldn't. She had a fever. Huh? And so the kidnappers grabbed Camilla by mistake instead? Apparently. Amelie and Camilla are about the same age after all. The kidnappers must have gotten the two of them mixed up. It's my fault. If I hadn't asked Camilla to do that errand for me, this never would have happened. Alright, you asked her to bring the music box, which by the way is in the park. Camilla. Jowd, what's up, man? So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened. Something about a kidnapping. Yeah, some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter, but they kind of fucked it up. That's terrible. What's their demand? The carrying out of your execution? Tonight? Ha ha ha! I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple. It's not that simple. Why not? Because it isn't really the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camilla. What? Camilla? I checked it out for myself, dude. Pretty positive. No, it can't be. And by the way, Camilla told me something interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was, herself. What? Wait, what are you talking about? Don't listen to him. I'm the one who shot her. I'm the one who shot Alma. When I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla won't have to suffer anymore after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours. Is it true, what Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's, Alma's, birthday. We came home from work, and she went in first. And the evidence was all conveniently burned away and reset. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. Why does anybody keep a loaded fucking gun on their wall? What the fuck? First of all, don't put the gun on the wall. Second of all, don't put a loaded gun on the wall. Third of all, don't leave a loaded gun just lying around with kids in your house. What the fuck is wrong with you? God, basic safety. There was nobody there besides Alma and Camilla. Just the two of them. So, the little lady's mother died right in front of her. Oh my, that's so horrible. Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. Made an impossible move. An impossible move. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's what I'd convinced everyone of. Even me. But tonight, you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. The powers of the dead, right? That day, in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. If that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about those powers. Is somebody there? Can you hear me? I can sense your presence, you know. God, I'm just hearing this theme. It's the Street Fighter 2 map theme. God. There's a lot of music in this game just remind me of other Capcom music. The kidnappers who abducted Camilla knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was. Detective Jowd. There's still time before dawn. A little, anyway. How would you see this case through to the end before you die? You can hear a little bit of Ryu's theme? Yeah, makes sense to me. It's like I've heard some Street Fighter, I've heard some Mega Man Battle Network. Obviously there's some Ace Attorney touches. But goddamn. Great game, though. Camilla was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. But there were two very strange points about that contraption. First was, of course, the firing of that gun. Right. That was an antique gun I'd had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design. Of course it wasn't! It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday. And the other strange point. is the movement of that Cupid. Cupid? Yep, Cupid wasn't supposed to be facing that direction. It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made it change the contraption's design and then manipulated it. I don't know what to say. I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew was I had to protect Camilla. Made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in. What kind of adjustment? The gun, of course. The gun, eh? Come to think of it. It's not in the case. There was no gun there, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption, but one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking. So that gun really did shoot Alma? I hid the gun before I went to the police. You hid it? I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. Is that the music box? What? Wait, you mean... And that detective still thinks it's a music box. So, that's what's in the box, huh? I've got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police. My own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. God damn, alright. Detective Jowd, is what you told us just now true? Yes, of course. In that case, there's still time. Still time? Time to solve the case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd, and of course little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. For Camilla's sake. Meanwhile, I'm still wondering what the hell's going on with those weird supervillainy conspiracy guys from, like, what, chapter 3 or some shit? What the fuck's going on with them? What connection do they have to all this shit? That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Detective Jowd. Lynn, where's that music box now? In Timstick Park. Camilla left it there. That gun is important evidence. You'd better go pick it up. Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Sissel, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side. Man, Cabanel's just hearing all this, just going like, what the fuck is going on here? Are you all on drugs? And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say. He is so confused right now. What's going on? Deal me the deal with the death row inmate. A little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped. I can't just go off to die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you. With a special seat just for you, baby. Actually, that seat blew up. It's kind of out of condition at the moment. Then I guess we better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla in more ways than one. And that's all there is to it. I see, my old friend. In more ways than one. Well then. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have a decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight, as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? Wow. The order still stands. Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please, don't bow down to me. And especially not that low. Well, you are pretty low because you're dirt right now, boy. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate? Yes, I will do something. I'm glad to see Detective Jowd all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with the proof of Jowd's innocence, it will be meaningless if Jowd or Camilla dies. I've got to do something about that kidnapping somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here. Most likely, the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who was kidnapped. But she isn't the one, I'm sure of it. Well, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister. How am I supposed to prove that? I doubt his wife is ever going to answer that phone if we call from here. If we call from here, right. But a telephone works in both directions. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, only family members can solve a family problem. That's not true. Sometimes you need help. Hey, Mr. Ghost. Yes? I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change this situation. Gee, detective. For these past 5 years, Camilla is the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly to the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me? I don't know, man. It sounds like a family problem, and I think only family members can help with that. But I'll try. The key to getting the Justice Minister to stop the execution is his wife and daughter. But is there a way? Well, what the hell's that's words? What the telephone is for? I don't want to talk to him. Skip that. Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Just a little sickly, though. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. This last link in the long chain of a sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart, and the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. I'm getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight has related back to me in some way. And I bet this mistake-ridden abduction does too. Yeah, we were clearly the contact that those two are waiting for. Alright, everybody. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and end things here for this episode. And we'll pick things up next time and continue our fun through this mystery. See you all then. Bye, everyone.